Countdown to the Euro crash. Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com. It is Sunday, the, what is it, the 2nd? Let's see here, the 2nd, yes, the 2nd of October. So, looking forward to Halloween, I guess. I wonder how many bulls are going to get scared this Halloween. I'm going to go over some things here today that a lot of technicals I'm going to go over today, as opposed to a lot of the dark side stuff that I have already been covering on practically every post I've done here over the last several weeks. I've covered a lot of stuff, as we know. We'll just briefly touch on it, but we pretty much know it all by now. We know that for example, I have a Wilshire fake print from 2010, early 2010. I got the print on March the 8th, and it backdates to December 7th, 2009, showing the Wilshire about 4,000 points down on the fake print. And then I found the Illuminati.org website that mysteriously has a countdown that goes right to December 7th and then ends. So we know that December 7th of this year will probably be an important day, possibly another Pearl Harbor day that these gangsters stage. Let's hope not. We also know other ritual dates like 11/11/11 is an important date as well, because it comes along once every 100 years. And 11 is an important number to the Illuminati, who control the stock market. So you would expect something there to happen as well. Plus we have those movies coming out. There's a movie, 11/11/11, that's the name of the movie. And you know, one of the bylines of it says, you can't stop what's coming. So, you know, lots of hints there that they're going to tell us that something big is going to happen, you know, around that time period. So, oh, and then we also have the good guys, the White Dragon Society, which specifically, again, is made up of good people inside of at least 57 countries, that including the Pentagon here in the United States, where you've got some good admirals and generals and high-ranking officials that do not agree with the current evil cabal and their plans to wipe out 80% of the population through nuking it while they hide in their underground cities. So you got those guys that are wanting to reboot the financial system and actually shut it down on November the 11th of this year. So that's a tentative date, meaning it can be changed, but regardless, it is something to be aware of, that a lot of stuff is going to happen during this time period. Now we also have, as I've covered in other posts, we also have the October 28th, 2011 end of the Mayan calendar, according to many others that think that that is the actual date that it ends. I have shown that in the blog, let's see, many times, and you know, maybe I can show you that again, but it pretty much it shows that the 13 levels in the Mayan calendar, and it ends on October the 28th, and that is on the blog. So you got all kinds of things, and I guess you could look at this here chart again to see. We can cover that against previous posts. I'm not going to go too much into this stuff, like I said, but you've got all kinds of reasons that oh, margin call, I forgot. Margin Call, the movie, and then won't forget about that, some of the prior post again. So we want to revisit this stuff so we keep it fresh in our mind. That movie is going to be released on Friday, October 21st. That is when OPEX ends, or options expiration date. Option X, people call it, or I just call it OPEX, but whatever. And so you got the fake print there of the Wilshire on December 7th. Again, at the same time, the Illuminati.org countdown to December 7th. You've got the planned financial shutdown. You've got the 11/11 movie. You've got the Legatus pilgrimage ending October 23rd, Sunday. And so you got a lot of reasons here to be concerned about this October and November and December period. And I just can't wrap my head around the idea that we are about to finish a fifth wave down inside of our first major wave one down, and that we are going to rally for several months from late October into November and December, and have our Santa rally and all this stuff. I just can't believe that. I can't wrap my head around those ideas that it's just going to mysteriously happen. Okay, here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I thought there were 13. Okay, maybe there's nine levels of the underworld. Sorry, I was counting this. This is not one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and it actually ends October 28th. So something big is happening here, and I just don't think that that the stock market is just going to be casually rallying up. It's going to affect us all. These derivatives are going to have to be cleaned out of the system, wiped out, and I just don't see that happening. And the good guys bringing money into the system until that happens, basically. So hold on here, I'm looking for something else. There is hang on one second, I'm going to pause this and find an article I was looking for. Okay, I found it here. It was an article from Zero Hedge that seems to be going around the internet. Several people posted this, showing the exposure that the banks have. 96% is all under five major banks. They have $250 trillion in outstanding U.S. derivative exposures. And I cannot see us simply going down for a wave 5 and or a fifth wave inside this major wave 1 that everybody seems to be talking about, and I've talked about it several times. And then that would imply, again, a rally in late October through November, December, and into January, a multi-month rally for major wave 2 up. And when you look at this, I'll put the link on the blog for you, but you just can't rationally see that there's going to be any type of significant rally. There's just too much going on to think that during this time period that everything is just going to be hunky-dory. Come on, you've got the Mayan calendar alone, something that happens every how many millions of years? You really think that during this time period when this thing happens on the 28th, the week after the Friday, the week after the Legatus pilgrimage ends, that all of a sudden everything is going to be the market's going to be going and rallying? Then you got the significance of this margin call being released on the 21st, telling people that, hey, there's going to be margin calls after this. And here's the Wilshire fake print that I've talked about, that mysteriously is on December the 7th, Pearl Harbor Day from 1941, and also happens to be the exact same time that countdown on the Illuminati website, Illuminati.org, ends at. Then you get this movie, Mark the Date, You Can't Stop What's Coming. Does that really sound to you like a rally is going to happen after this? It doesn't to me, folks. And looking at the charts, when we look at the charts, what I'm talking about, so that you understand what I'm talking about, is the idea that let's see here. Am I here? Where am I at? Okay, I'm down here. Okay, there we go. The idea that we basically started the first major wave 1 down, I guess you'd call this, and I'm sorry, minor wave 1 down, and then minor wave 2 up. So this is what most people have. And they're not calling it minor wave 1 and minor wave 2. I'm calling it that. I don't know what everybody else is calling it, but anyway, we're calling it minor 1 and minor 2, and then this here is minor 3. And then where the debate issue is did we have our 5th wave down? So we know we've got a 4th up, and where does it end? That is the question. We don't know where the heck this ends at, and this would have been the minor wave 4, and then we would have looked for a minor wave 5, which by all common sense should come down here and take out this low here and go much lower. And you know, could most of the time these wave 5s are equal in distance to the wave 3s. So in that case, then you would expect it to easily go down here close to the 1,000 range, maybe a little above, a little less. You know, I have 965 as a target, and I think Ron Walker here, the chart pattern guy, I'm borrowing his chart, he's got 1013 area possibly maybe for the higher one, and I think he also said 985 for the lower print. So somewhere in that area that he's guessing at. And it's just a guessing game. It's tough to get it exactly right. But the whole point of this is that this whole moves down. This whole, I knew I'd run out of ink eventually. God dog it. I still, you know, I got so much other stuff to go on. I'm not taking the time to read why this does this or figure it out. It just doesn't really matter, I guess. I just hit the clear button and start over again, because it really doesn't matter. But this whole move down here to wherever it bottoms would be our major wave 1, and then from there you would expect a major wave 2 up is what everybody's expecting, major 2 up. And then obviously if it bottomed, let's just say down here somewhere in late October, and maybe it is the Goddess Pilgrimage turn date, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that is a bottom area on that date, and then we turn back up for major 2, which again would easily take us into at least January of next year, 2012, possibly even further into, you know, the next Goddess turn date, before we have our major wave 3 down. And you know, that's just based upon, you know, that's based upon these time periods between how many days, how many weeks it took to carve out major wave 1 down. Then you got to calculate how many weeks it's going to take to do major wave 2 up based upon past history, and then again the same thing for major wave 3 down. So maybe it only takes half as long for major wave 2 up, or maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't know, I hadn't sat down and counted it out, but it's at least a multi-month move. It's a multi-month move because it was a multi-month move down. So it's got to be a multi-month move up, right? So all the bulls are waiting for this move down right here to finally bottom down here so that they can go long into this big move up into next year. Okay, well, that means that possibly, you know, after we go down here and hit whatever low we're going to hit, that completes it all, and we're going to just chop our way up and go all the way. Well, it shouldn't go up that high, I'm sorry, but let's just say about here. Hey, looky there. Or let's just say about here. Maybe that 127.07 SPY fake print, maybe that's the target for major wave 2 into next year. I don't know. You know, that would put it right about in here somewhere, about 1270. Which would be a nice retracement from, let's say, 1,000 on the low, and let's say about what is that high right there? I don't even know what that is. I can't tell. Was that 1370 or something like that? I've forgotten what the high was. But anyway, you get the idea. 370, 380 points. You know, go up there. What's that? About 60. That's your fib level. I would just guess it's your 61.8% fib level. That could be a possibility from just that area. This is just thinking what everybody else is thinking. But the problem I have with all of that is that everybody else is thinking the same thing. So if everybody's on the same page, thinking the same thing, I don't want to be on that page. I've got to figure out some other reason. Plus, looking at all the dark side of this, with the Legatus pilgrimage, with the 11/11, everything I just covered, with the Mayan calendar on the 28th, with the movie Margin Call coming out on the 21st, the weekend of Legatus, then the 11/11/11 movie coming out later. I just don't see us going down here and stopping here and then having this big rally all the way through November and December and January and welcome Santa, we're going to have a great big rally and everything is going to be okay. That doesn't make sense to me. Plus you've got the planned financial reset. Now, whether or not it happens or not, I don't know. Oops, 11/11/11, and that's by the good guys. They basically want to shut down. They're talking about shutting down the market, the financial market, to clear out all of these banks I just showed you. That 96% of the $250 trillion in outstanding derivatives. They got to have that out of the system, folks, before they're going to invest their money to try to free humanity and get this stock market back going again and getting the free energy devices out there and the cancer cures and AIDS cures and heart disease cures and everything to make you live to be 1,000 years old or better. That technology's out there. They've had it. They've got that from the aliens and reverse engineered a lot of stuff and created some of it themselves. But a lot of this come directly from the aliens. That's where our transistors come from, and fiber optics and a lot of the metals that we have today come from that. So they don't want that out there, of course. So they want to keep us enslaved. And so they're trying to create a World War III, and they've been failing every time. As I talked about previously, that earthquake, what was it, August the 23rd, I believe, in Virginia area, that earthquake, there's 2 earthquakes killed. We don't know that they killed 60,000 people, but we do know there was at least 30,000 in the 2 underground cities. Now there's been other reports by David Wilcox that they actually used some type of weapon that increased the air pressure 20-fold and just caused everything to just absolutely pulverize. Now, it might have been some alien technology that they used to actually destroy their cities, and there's a possibility that they actually took the people out first. I don't know how, but they took them out. They got them out of the city. Because remember, a lot of these people are innocent people. They're just military personnel doing their job, and they don't know that they're working for, Snakehead Bush and Rockefeller and Queen Elizabeth and Tony Blair and Kissinger and all these other evil, reptilian shapeshifters or whatever they are. It's always still debatable. But so, thinking differently, I want to give you my other Elliott wave count. Now again, Elliott wave count is very subjective, and you can always go back and look at it after the fact. But what if this move down that we're all taking for granted? What if this final 5th wave ended right here? What if it was a trunicated 5th wave? This was my theory, that this was our wave 3 down, and then here's our wave 4 up, and here was your wave 5 down. It was a trunicated wave, and it ended right there. And then of course here would have been your wave 2 and your wave 1 here, and then of course and that would have been all inside. What if this is all inside a C wave down, and that was it, or whatever you want to call it, with this being A wave and then this being a B wave up, A, B, C, and that ended, and inside it you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a possibility, but the main thing that I want to focus on here is that the possibility that our 5th wave ended right here on this date. I think it's August 20th. It was trunicated. It did not go any further. to complete the first major wave 1 down. Major 1 down. Okay. Now, if this is accurate, and I don't know because I'm not an Elliott wave person, but understand that they are trying to fool the masses. And in order for that to happen, they've got to fool these Elliott wave people so that they can come back later and make the count work for them later. So if that's the case, then we could have had your A wave up here, your B down here, and your truncated C here, just making a double top. Again, another truncated one. All you did was basically, not quite a double top, but pretty close. And that would have ended your C wave, and that also would have ended major wave 2. This is just my theory on this. And it is, of course, a shortened one because it's August the 20th all the way to September the, I don't know what that would be, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that area. So it would have only lasted a month, while the sell-off would have lasted from May to August. So could that work out with Elliott wave? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 months down and 1 month up. I don't know. I can't answer that. This is just my theory. It's just what I'm thinking because of all the other information that's out there. Just want to throw something outside the box because we all know what the other wave counts are. So if that's the case and we've already ended major wave 2 down, then we have started major wave 3 down already, and we are in the first minor wave 1 down inside it right here. And if that's the case, we should have started this wave right here. It should be 1, 2, and then we should possibly do a 3, maybe a 4, and maybe a 5, something like this, to end this first minor wave 1 down. And inside it we would have a total of 5 microwaves. And you can call them microwaves. I don't care what you want to call them, but that's just, it makes no difference. It's just smaller waves inside it. Now, if that's the case, this would fool a lot of people. We could go down here. We had a 1077 ES print from several weeks back when the market actually bottomed on the ES in the after hours session. So on the SPX, that'd be approximately the same thing. Approximately 10. I think it was a little bit higher at the time, so it might be about 1080 SPX, somewhere in that area. So if we did that, we would certainly take out the 1101 low, right? So then people would be calling for this being wave 5 down. But what if it's not wave 5 down? You see, if they all think this is wave 5 down, then everybody would be then thinking that we're going to have a major wave 2 up. Is what most people are going to think. Man, this pen, it's not the pen, it's this stupid charting software, whatever. So if that's the case and we bottom out here and then we run up and they think that we're going to have this major wave 2 up, but what happens if we don't? What if this count that I just presented you is accurate and you've got your 1, 2, your 3, your 4, and your 5, and then when they start to run this thing up, and obviously I don't know the actual dates there, but my thoughts are that this 23rd would be a high, and when we would hit this, we would be in some type of move that would be a series of wave 3s, 3 of 3 of 3 of 3, something like that, that would hit right there on that week, and the market would start to go down, and people would think that it is just a back test from this final wave down, and we're working our way up. Let's just say, for example, then it wants to pull down. People thinking, oh golly, it's the B wave down or the wave 2 down, and a larger move up to make this major wave 2 all the way up for several months. And so they'll be buying that dip as it's falling, thinking that it is a move up and that they're going up. only to find out later that it's actually a 3 of a 3 of a 3 of a 3, and it goes down way below our suspected 1077 ES target, and just keeps on going down, and we end up hitting maybe 965 SPX, as I'm thinking, from October all the way into November. I mean, think about those dates, folks. With the movie Margin Call coming out on the 21st, okay, they're telling you something. They're telling you that it's also options expiration, so you'd expect the market to run up for 2 weeks into that, putting in a top, okay? That's the way they usually do it, to get all the people out and also fool all the bulls into jumping on board after we put in a lower low right here at 1077. So you're thinking, okay, we're going to rally up, and so they're all on board. The bears will just say, well, the down move is done, we'll wait for major wave 2 to peak out, and we'll go short at 1270 or whatever, and only to miss it when it gets here to the first, when it peaks, let's just say on Monday the 21st, Monday the 24th, after the Legatus pilgrimage, and that's when it starts to, let's say, back down. So here you go down, 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 then you go up, 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 and right there you hit your top on the, say, the 24th, just for example's sake, and you start to back down. This is the first move down, and people were thinking, hey, this is a buying opportunity because it went up for 2 straight weeks and they want to go long. They keep buying it, dipping, 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 and it just keeps going down, down, down in this massive wave 3 of 3 of 3 of 3. And the way that you obviously would count that would be, again, that this move here would be the start of major wave 3. And then you divide this down into some subwaves, where this down to here would be your first minor wave, minor wave 1. The move up into the 24th is going to be minor 2, leaving minor 3 to go down after the 24th. And that obviously would be minor wave 3 inside a major wave 3. And of course, at the top right here, this starts P3, or primary wave 3. And so now you've got at least a 3 of 3 of 3, and they're all very, very big 3 waves. This would fool a lot of people, folks. A lot of people. Especially if this curls over, dips down here just a little bit as we go down here to put in this low, and I'm just guessing at that 1077 ES low because it's a good target. And then so you curl this over, go down like that, then you curl back up. Maybe you don't go down very far, but you curl back up, and you run it right into again that 24th date, that Monday, and you get the market a little bit overbought. And so, boy, it's some crappy drawing there. But I think you're getting the idea of what I'm talking about here. Would be down a little, then curl back up, and then get it into that 24th before you roll back down again. So this would put in your positive divergence here if we did this, as you put in a lower low right here on the wave 5 that everybody thinks it's a wave 5, but it's not. it's actually just the conclusion of the first minor wave 1 down, again inside of major 3. That's my speculation as to how this would work. And then of course you would have that move up from minor 2, minor 2, and then minor 3. I hope everybody understands this and my thinking in this and why it corresponds with that period, because you also have on the 26th you have a full a new moon, which usually has tops plus or minus 2 to 3 days. So that would imply that's a Wednesday. Okay, you got the Legatus pilgrimage in on Sunday. You got the Monday being the 24th. Okay, you see what I'm saying? All this points to that time period. Um, on top of that, at the end of that week, you get the most historic thing of all, the Mayan calendar ending on ending at that time, the Mayan calendar. Of course, that's that's what that chart is. So, my goodness, that could be the week from hell for the bulls. I mean, that thing could just fall through the floor. If it curls down like this and curls back up and runs into that time period, like I suspect, we put in that positive divergence. Again, this makes the lower low. 1077 is a good estimate of a target, at least that, maybe a little lower. And but not 965 yet. No, that is being saved, in my opinion, for after this move back up into the 23rd, and then that's when we take the big move down. That's my theory on this, and it makes sense to get this overbought at this point. Obviously, this would curl down and try to curl back up, and maybe it would curl up to this point. And I was wrong, last week on it, thinking it would bust out. Maybe it stays in it, turns down, then stays in it, and then goes down again after it hits it the third time, you see, from that resistance line. Now, the fake print I got showing, it is showing up on the ES at 1:16:05 SPY, which again is about 1160 SPX. Look where that happens to be, right about here. So what if we go down a little bit, like I said, Monday, we come back up Monday, close maybe slightly positive, then we come on back up and we hit a back test right into this area for it to hit that fake print. That could all happen on Monday, or that could happen on Tuesday, and then of course you would have your next wave down, and your next wave down would be the one that I would suspect would be that fifth wave inside this whole move, being again a minor wave one down. This could have been your wave 3, this could have been your wave 4, this could have been your wave 5, this would have been 2, and this would have been 1, and those would all be called microwaves, I guess you could call them microwaves. Inside of there, if I'm guessing right. And again, the name is not important. You see how these waves go down, and this again could be our just a suspected target about 1077 ES. I'm just, because we've already had a low there, it's just going to act like a magnet. That's all. So then after that, again, everybody's going to think all is hunky-dory, and we are going to rise up to whatever level we rise up to. I don't know what level, but into October the 23rd, and this would be, again, if I can just draw this out, boom, 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 crappy drawer, but again, this would obviously go up and be the minor wave 2 up and leave us for minor wave 3 down. Do you see how this all plays out, and nobody's really counting this as a possibility? I don't see any Elliott wave people out there talking about this being a possibility. They're all looking for this to be a fifth wave, and that's it. And then we go up and boom into next year for 2 to 3 months for major wave 2. Well, what if major wave 2 ended? What if this was a truncated fifth wave for the first major wave 1 down? Major 1 down, but this was obviously a minor wave inside it. And then what if this here was your some type of ABC for major 2? I know it may not justify with Elliott wave terms, because it only lasts maybe, I don't know, what's that, about 1 month roughly, whereas the down move lasted 4 months. But again, you can always go back after the fact with Elliott wave and figure this stuff out. That's why I don't trade off of Elliott wave, because it's so subjective. You can find out 1,000 different ways. The only thing you should probably be focusing on is I'm estimating that after this move down, if it hits this and starts to reverse, which I do believe it's going to, it could go down just like this tomorrow morning, Monday morning, put in a positive divergence and curl back up for a nice powerful move back up to 1160. Because I got that fake print. I showed you that. You'll see that on the blog. but the SPX. So I think that's a target for Monday, Tuesday, before another wave down. Again, to my estimates, is to catch that fifth wave, that final fifth wave, inside this larger first wave down of major wave 3. And this again would be, in my terminology, would be called minor wave 1 down inside of major 3. Major 3 starts. That's my thoughts on this. It's crazy, it's out of the box, but I'm trying to throw in all the other stuff that you always see me talk about, all the craziness that's out there, which, besides the fake prints, as you all know, I constantly talk about a lot of other stuff that I try to figure this out. And everything to me that I didn't put a lot of pictures and graphics on this time, but everything to me tells me that we are getting ready to have that scenario play out. This is an old article here. I'll open it for you, but it's a week old, but it's still valid. Basically, they kind of put a timeline of 6 weeks or less. It's now, we only got 5 weeks left of before they're unable to save the euro. I want you to remember what Lindsey Williams said, and whether you believe it or not, he pointed out several times that once the euro collapses, and it's all planned, once it collapses, you've got less than 2 weeks to get out of all paper. That means the stock market. So is this going to be an event? And I thought about this, buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm sorry, I say that backwards. Sell the rumor, buy the news, or buy the rumor, sell the news. Both of them, people say it all the time, depending upon whether they expect something to be good or bad. And if they expect something bad, then they go ahead and sell ahead of time, and when the news is actually released, they buy the news. And of course, if they expect something to be good, like when they had QE1, QE2, they were buying the rumor. Then when the actual actual announcement was released, well, they sold off. They didn't bought it, you see. So it's all factored in, is the old thing. But here we have a situation where we're likely to sell the rumor. That means selling right now, and crash the news. When the euro actually does default, we are going to crash the news and crash the market, I should say, and it's going to go down. And I think it's going to fool everyone. When I look at this monthly chart, I don't see any reason to rally up. I really don't. Now, there's no positive divergence. There's nothing. We just went straight down. When's it going to turn? I don't know. But I don't think it's going to turn anytime quickly. I guess you could argue that maybe we're here and we're getting ready to go back up. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I grant you that's a possibility. We've hit pretty much twice on this 200-day moving average, or almost. So what? So we're going to go up for October, go up for November, go up for December, and what? Are we going to hit that 1270 area, that 107 fake print before we collapse? That's what a lot of people are suspecting. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I do not. I think we're just going to continue falling on down through here, because this is the other side of a big MA pattern. We've talked about this MA pattern like this, and it's extremely bearish. I don't think it's going to go up there like that and do exactly the same as this little period over here. I just don't see it. I think we're going to continue down. This next month is going to be worse on this chart, and then maybe we'll eventually put in some positive divergence. But this is after this market has really bottomed. And, you go back here and you look at the MA pattern that is apparent here, that I was talking about. When you go up here, down here, up here, down here. Now we've went up for the A. That means we should go down just like this. And again, this would very easily point to 1077 ES. Last week, when I did this, I thought that there was a possibility they would fool everybody and do it and run it up to that 1270 area. And I now think that, obviously, I don't think that that's even a possibility at this point. Maybe next year sometime after the market falls. and bottoms after this major wave 3 down. I just don't see it right now. I drew that channel before last time and thought that maybe it would come up, but it's obviously pierced that level, so that's out of the question at this point. Going, I'll just say really low odds of it going back up at that point. Now I just simply favor the MA pattern going ahead and playing out, like I had previously said that there was a possibility it would do it, and then after that, that's when everybody will be fooled again and think that the entire major wave 1 is done and that we're going to go up for major wave 2 probably to that 127.07 SPY fake print. But again, that's into January of next year or better at least, and that includes November and December rallying. So you just got to ask yourself, do you believe that that's going to rally or not? Personally, I don't believe it. I don't believe it's going to happen. I think after this we're going to go up again and put in that minor wave 2 up, and then we're going to have minor wave 3 down inside of major wave 3 down inside of primary wave 3 down. And I think that we just had some type of either ABC move down or a trunicated fifth wave, if you want to call it that. I don't know. I'll let the Elliottian experts do that, but that's just my thoughts. And here's a better view here again of the MA. As you can clearly see, there's an M, kind of a weak A, but not very deep M on this one, which that would imply, at least down to here, if not deeper, for the A part. I think it's really more like, I think it was more like this. Yeah, that was where my M and my A was. So you see how that is? The M and the A, here's your A, and so it did not, it failed obviously when it pierced through that line to make another run back up. So trying to play these fake prints and figure them out is a tough thing, because we don't know the dates on them. They may never be hit, and sometimes they put them out a year in advance, obviously, because we got to 34.65 fake print on the downside. Is that going to be for the market to bottom in 2012? Probably. I can't, or 2013. I can't see it happening anytime soon. But this Wilshire fake print could very well be, where am I at here? The Wilshire fake print that I have shown you several times could very well be the bottom in December 7th. I mean, think about this. Where the heck is it? Think about how this lines up with, possible move down and bottoming in this area. Again, December 7th. The Illuminati countdowns, December 7th. And, again, what was odd about this is that when the screenshot was taken, here this date was approximately March the 8th or something. Could have been March the 5th or March the 8th, whatever, when that print was taken. And so normally when you see a fake print, you see it on the very day that the screenshot was taken. But on December 7th, this print was not here, nor was it there on December 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever. The print never showed up until March the 8th. On March the 8th, whoever took this screenshot and sent it to me, and I still don't remember who it was, took the screenshot on March the 8th, and the print is backdated to the 7th, December 7th. And then you got that Illuminati countdown. So there's just way too much here to think that we are going to rally into this time period. I just don't believe it. I think that exactly what's going to happen is we're going to go down, and we'll probably hit that fake print area by December 7th. I would not put that past them to be able to do that, to hit that print at that time period. So okay, I think I've covered everything for you here, folks. I know these videos are long, a lot to talk about, trying to get these ritual dates mixed in with this, because that's what this stock market site is about. As you know, I try to mix in all this stuff and figure out what the Illuminati gangsters are thinking and how they can screw you over, and try to figure that out ahead of time so that we know and be, are prepared for it. So for Monday, simply put, again, I'm looking for this to probably come down here, maybe bang on this right here, maybe go a little bit lower, and then bang on back up there into Tuesday, Wednesday, and hit that 116.05 SPY fake print, which just happens to be this level right here. And then from there, take a final fifth wave down into Friday and possibly Monday of next week, and then see maybe a 2-week rally again into options expiration on Friday the 21st, and then finally collapse in minor wave 3 inside of major wave 3 inside of primary wave 3, and that will be the one that will be causing the margin calls in the movie. Okay, guys, that's it. Good luck. This is just my theory, so always check up every day on the blog or in the chat room at stockmarketbloggers.com or reddragonleo.com so that you can find out the latest and as things change and we have to change the plans. But that's just my thoughts for now. Good luck as usual, everyone, and I will see you on the blog.